episode of Welcome to the C.H.E Network. Got a little tongue tied, goddamn, it's been a minute. It's your boy Marshall Mack, and I got a special guest in here today, man. I know him as Dun Dada, the amazing Donnie. Here's Donnie, whatever the fuck you want to call him, but he's here to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to his heart. He has a podcast called Throttle Notchers, introducing the Throttle Notcher.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Donnie Smith. I also go by Donnie on TikTok. I go by the Train Man himself, Donnie, whatever you want to call me, but I'm the Throttle Notcher.
All right, so Throttle Notcher, give the people kind of like an understanding of what's that about, like the podcast.
Okay, so for those who are not familiar, Throttle Notcher is just my way of saying a locomotive engineer or conductor on the train. Locomotive engineer is the person that drives the train. Conductor is pretty much the boss of the train. And I got the inspiration because, for one, I am a conductor on the railroad. I worked for C.H.E Transportation for 2 years, and I worked for the L&C Railroad, the Lancaster and Chester Short Line Railroad out of Lancaster, South Carolina. I worked there for a year and a half. It has always been my goal to work on the railroad since I've been a child, to be a conductor or engineer. So Throttle Notchers is pretty much an interview series very similar to what we're doing now on Vlad TV or Club C.H.E, where I have conversations with active engineers and conductors on the railroad, active and conductors coming from Class 1 railroads like CSX, Norfolk Southern, short lines like the L&C, or what's another short line that's kind of famous? Anyway, Amtrak, commuter railroads like the Long Island Railroad, Metrolink, Metro North, tourist railroads, just basically anybody who has worked on the railroad as a conductor or engineer. I'm interested in interviewing them to learn about their experiences and to hear about their stories, but it's also allowing them to give advice to the boys and girls and the young men and women that's seeking to get into the railroad field as a conductor or engineer, what it's like to really work out there and move freight on the rails.
That's what's up. And y'all got to excuse me too, because I know y'all used to see me inebriated and all that. Y'all clapped up for me on my sober journey, March 3rd, maybe 2 months. I haven't consumed any alcohol or smoke, so it's a little different. I'm getting used to the new me, you know what I'm saying? But this is the last day of Black History Month. I want to give a shout out to all African Americans out there, Africans, blacks, whatever you, all let's go back down to that line. At the end of the day, it goes to Africa, you know what I'm saying? Strong, gifted, and black.
That's right.
So, what did your love for trains like kind of start?
Okay, so my grandmother's twin brother, my mom's mother, he was a former locomotive engineer for the Long Island Railroad out of Brooklyn, New York. Long Island or Metro North, one of the two. That's pretty much the same company. They just run on different rails. But he used to drive trains up north, and he taught me about trains as a child. And my grandmother, my father, and my father's sister, and my grandfather all lived near railroad tracks. So as a child, I did watch Thomas the Train a little, but I was always around the real thing. So that's what really got me interested in loving trains and wanting to learn about them.
And not just that, tell them the area where you grew up at.
I grew up in Latimer Manor.
So y'all, if y'all don't know about the mountain, they shutting it down right now. They kind of moved everybody out. That's kind of an urban hood area. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of unique for him to grow up in that area and not kind of want to gravitate to other things. You know what I'm saying? And be kind of interested in the railroad like that at a young age.
Yeah, the legend is my mom fell on the railroad tracks when she was pregnant with me. That's actually a true fact, but I call it a legend because, I was one in the belly, so I can't tell you whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
But, she fell on the railroad track when she was pregnant with me, so everybody kind of felt like, well, that knocked trains in my head.
I'm about to say, that was your origin story. You know what I'm saying? She done woke it, walking in the belly, man. Yeah, that's what's up.
So as far as what got me interested in it, it's always been interesting to see how a locomotive, maybe whether it's one or three or four of them together, how they could pull so much weight at so fast speed.
Yeah.
So it's just been interesting for me. I love everything about the trains. I love how they sound. Definitely the way they sound, man. Because to me, it's nothing like. Well, I'm gonna elaborate on that. So my dad's sister, or the family house at that point in time, my dad grew up in Gaston, South Carolina.
Which one? G-A-D or G-A-S?
G-A-D.
Down this way?
Yeah. My dad grew up in Gaston, South Carolina.
G-Town, y'all.
So down the street from my aunt's, well, up the street from my aunt's house was the railroad tracks. So back when I was real young, maybe about 3 or 4 years old or 5 in that little area, we used to always go down to my dad's sister's house, but for some odd reason we would always go down there kind of like later on in the day, more so like nighttime or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's because the parents was home, everybody for sure home from work or whatnot. So the house used to always be festive. The kids being there watching TV, the adults doing their thing, and my brothers and my sisters they much older than me, so they was teens at this point in time. So they would be back in the back with the other teens watching TV and just listening to music. And whenever the train would come, my daddy would grab me and take me and sit me on the porch. It's at nighttime. I can't see the train, but I can hear it.
And you wanna know what's crazy? I just thought my wife was weird. She loves the sounds of train. I'm so glad we can hear the trains and all that. I'm like, wow.
Dope, man.
Yeah, so I see she ain't the only one.
Yeah, I love it, man. I got a video that is very near and dear to my heart that I just filmed last year around this time. When, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure y'all don't know, I no longer work for CSX. I was throughout last year, what we call running the street, which is basically discipline. At this point in time, is whether up in the air I'll be able to come back to work. If I come back, great. If they decide to dismiss me altogether, then it's the consequences of my actions.
Yeah.
But the train was like, it was basically what I would call my dream run on the railroad. Coming on duty about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, taking the train from Casey to Savannah. And it's a video that I recorded of the train going through Gaston, South Carolina, STON, down there towards like Swansea. As a matter of fact, it was Swansea area. And the way the video sounds, if you ever live near a railroad track, but you don't stay next to the tracks, when the train comes through the area, you can hear the rumble, you can hear the humming of the train passing through the area. Mm-hmm. But if you're not standing right by the tracks, you can't hear the squeal. The wheel squealing, you can't hear it all. You cannot hear that. You have to be up close and personal to actually hear it. How the wheels sound going around the curves and stuff like that, all the squealing and stuff. So the video that I recorded, I was right next to the train watching it go by, so I could hear the wheels squealing. But you can also hear that hum as if you wasn't right by the train. Mm-hmm. So it's very near and dear to my heart and whatnot, and I just love everything about trains, man. If it all boils down to it, am I loyal to a particular company? Honestly, as far as me wanting to work on the railroad, I've always been a fan of Norfolk Southern. Those are the locomotives that's black and white, and if you ever see the front of them, they have a logo of a horse.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So I've always been a Norfolk Southern fanatic. That's actually the trains that used to pass my dad's sister house. I wanted to work for them, and I had the opportunity to work for them back in 2021, but I went down to the school in Atlanta, Georgia, or McDonough, Georgia, I should say, and I failed the training like the first 2 days. Wasn't on the academic side, it was a physical test. It's called a hang test, where it's basically an obstacle course that simulates the rear of a boxcar. And the whole purpose of it is you hanging on to the grab irons with your foot in the footstool or whatnot. You're hanging on with one hand, and then you have a lantern in your other hand. So basically, you give the signals with the lantern. Each signal or each movement with the lantern in your hand means something different. Mm-hmm. And it's like that to not only see if you can.
Not to cut you off, but it's kind of similar to like where the guys on the runway when he's holding like the lights and stuff, directing the plane, like to let them know like which way is the.
It's similar to that.
I know it's not the same thing, but it's similar like. They have to look at you to kind of know.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's exactly what it is with the signals, but with the flash.
I know it's more physical, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not only are you hanging on the side with one arm to see whether or not you have the strength to hold on to the train while shoving or going forward, but it also with the lantern, that's a way of if you lose radio communication with the engineer know what to do with the train based on the way that the lantern is moving. Mm-hmm. So I actually failed that test. Yeah, that sucks. I came back. As a matter of fact, I went back to work at Pilkington because that's where I was at that point in time. My boss man at that point, he hadn't put in no paperwork for me. So once I called him the day before that the first day, and I told him I didn't think I was gonna make it, he said, "Cool. I ain't put in no paperwork for you right now, so just let me know in the morning. I can just put that in as 2 vacation days." Okay, cool. Bam. I didn't make it, so I let him know, and he let me come on back to work. And later on,
I never heard of that company you said anyway, but go ahead.
so later on, this is maybe what? This is actually is early June 2021. I left there and I went to go work down at International Paper down here for Union Camp. They used to have their own railroad. They have their own railroad system out there. You know, it's a big manufacturing plant. It's a paper plant, so or paper mill, I should say. And they have a private company that go out there and do all the railroad switching, moving the cars around within the plant. And once everything is empty or loaded up, they'll shove it down the hill to where CSX Railroad can come pick up the train or drop off the trains and stuff like that. So I went out there and worked there for 4 months, and I got word that the short line railroad was hiring out of Lancaster, so I went up there and I got hired on the spot. So I left International Paper when I worked at the LNC for a year and a half, and I ended up leaving the LNC in February 2023. That's when I went to CSX, and I faced my fear again with that same test, and I passed it.
That's what's up.
And I graduated from school. I had nothing less than a 94 average. And the last test was like 150 questions. I only missed like 3 of them.
Oh, that's saying a lot, bro.
Right.
Huh.
So I came to CSX, and like I said, started in February 2023. I was qualified to run or be a conductor by May of 2023. And it was all, I ain't say all good, I ain't say all bad. You know, if you work on the railroad in this type of climate, you know. And at this point in time, like I said, I made a mistake out there, and they tossed me out. You know, it's part of the game. Is, you know, when you have a union that's backing you and whatnot. That's why I have the opportunity to go back to work through arbitration. If they say, yeah, you can come back to work, I'm going back to work.
That's what's dope about your podcast. You know what I'm saying? You have different people on there. It made a lot of things made it sound similar in the beginning, like school-wise, going to certain schools and stuff. But everybody's story is different. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. You know, my latest guest was a woman. She was actually the first female the first female to be on the show, but she was also the first employee from the BNSF Railroad to come onto the show. And she actually came from 6 generations of railroaders.
That's a lot.
Her son is the 6th generation. So, you know, her uncle, her dad, her granddaddy, and several others ahead of her all worked on the railroad, and, you know, it came down to her deceased cousin, which was a lady. She was the first lady to drive trains for BNSF Railroad out of that particular area.
That's dope, man.
Right. And she became the first since her aunt, or her cousin, I should say, to drive trains for the same railroad in that area.
So
Well, the first since her aunt, I should say.
Okay. So like you have a plethora of different guests on. How do you go about like picking guests? Do you kind of go off like reaching out to people you know, or just somebody may contact you, or like how do you go about like decide who you want to put on the show?
Okay, so right now most of the people who are on the show are people that I have known, as far as, you know, people who were rail fans that later became railroaders. So a rail fan is short for railroad fanatic and whatnot. People that go out like me, we shoot videos, we take pictures. Some of us might have radio scanners where you can hear the crews talking, saying that they're at this location, they're at that location. Pretty much like a CB scanner, like a CB radio, but just a radio scanner. Kind of similar to like when you can listen to the police.
Okay, yeah.
So, not to incriminate myself, but it's very popular out here. A lot of us came up around the same time, even though we was in different states, and a lot of us work on the railroad now. So majority of those who are my guests were people who I've known over the years that just happened to start working on the railroad.
Okay.
And then I do have a few people who was on the TikTok page that have reached out saying that they would like to be a guest.
That's what's up. Y'all check, I'm telling you, it's dope. He does a great job doing interviews on there. I'm gonna most definitely have the link in the bio to his podcast. It's called Throttle Notcher. Y'all check it out. Now, time to get to the shit.
Yeah.
C.H.E versus 50.
Oh boy.
I'm getting right into it, bro.
Alright.
So, how do you feel about, I want to say about how, from where it started to where it evolved to. Like, it started as T.I. had an open challenge. There's a few people we wanted to do a verse with, in part, particularly 50 Cent. Because it kind of started some years ago, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think 50 might have agreed then, because then he got Kevin Hart involved back then to get him on the phone to try to see if he wanted to do it. I don't know if 50 agreed then, and he backed out, and T.I. brought it back up lately. You know what I'm saying? Some people saying it may be a ploy to promote his album, whatever. But when I heard like the history, he actually agreed to it one time. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just 50 T.I. reaching on some stuff like, I'm still pulling on your coattail bothering you. You said you was gonna do it. So I'm trying to hold you as a man of your word. But then, 50, the bully, he kind of playing them off, brushing them off, like bringing up the Crime Stopper stuff. And I feel like this. They're trying to say he the man that snitched. There ain't no paperwork on the man. They're trying to bring up that little court thing where he was talking about what he was talking about. He never said nobody's name. He only said stuff about himself. I felt like they was shooting at me. Can you describe and tell me who the people are? I don't know. I ain't seen them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got who y'all got. If y'all say they did it, they did it. Only thing I can tell you is about, I feel like I was being the target. My friend got killed. It wasn't for him. It was supposed to be for me. And they showing the Crime Stoppers thing. I had to do that. I was on probation. Right. You know how much time I'm about to get if I didn't do this video? I ain't saying call you on your mom, call on your homeboy and all that. I'm just doing a commercial, reading line. If you know about any crime, whatever, call Crime Stopper. Right. I ain't saying call on the dope man and none of that. I don't feel like that's snitching, bro.
Me personally, when it all boils down to it, I'm gonna speak overall about everything. Because if you think about it, man, 50 Cent been fucking with people for a long time.
But at the same thing too, I still give 50 Grace a lot of stuff. That's how South Carolina in, bro.
I mean,
South Carolina petty as fuck, bro.
I don't get me wrong. I know that, like I was just saying before we came on air, 50 is a prime example of people allowing certain individuals to get away with certain things all because they got status.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. Okay. You gotta think about it. Like I just said, 50 been fucking with certain people for a long period of time. You know what I mean? And nobody calls him out on this shit. Even back to the whole situation between him and Marlon Wayans. We can go further than that, but I'm going to speak particularly on that. When Marlon made the statement on it. Now, people who didn't even watch the full interview or what was said, like I was saying about the whole Marlon Wayans situation between him and 50. If people watched everything that was said, Marlon Wayans never down talked 50. He said, he don't think 50 would ever get some shit like that called out about him because he's a smart businessman. He don't do dumb shit. Mm-hmm. On top of everything else that he said. Now, everybody was on Marlon's ass because they felt like he was defending Diddy when he made a statement about 50 was kicking Diddy while he was down. Now, what Marlon said, he said the wrong saying.
Mm-hmm. He worded it wrong, you feel like?
No, not necessarily worded it wrong. It's two different sayings. Mm-hmm. Kicking a person while they're down means to take advantage of somebody who's weaker than yourself. Or, taking advantage of a person that's less fortunate. He did kick Diddy while he was down. What he actually was doing was dancing on Diddy's grave. Which means to celebrate somebody's death or to celebrate their downfall. That's all. That's really what Marlon was saying. That's really what 50 was saying. And 50 came at Marlon the way that he did. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody kept saying, well, that's 50-50. Marlon defended Diddy. Where did he defend Diddy at? He didn't say anything about defending Diddy or that Diddy was wrong and shit like that. He said he's been to plenty of Diddy parties. He didn't see none of that stuff take place. And if it did, it was after he left.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
All right. So people just, like I said, just let 50 say whatever he want to say, run over people and stuff like that, all because he's supposed to be the boogeyman of hip-hop. But one thing everybody have to understand, even a boogeyman got a boogeyman.
I'm gonna tell you this. I feel like the real boogeyman of hip-hop is Gucci Mane. But
okay.
Proceed.
Right. Okay, so as far as this whole situation with 50 and T.I. goes, I think that was a bullshit move on behalf of 50. Because if you and T.I. agreed to this years back, if you no longer want to visit that idea, you could just tell, bro, I don't want to do it, man. That was back then. Because the way T.I. said it made it seem like he reached out to 50 at this point in time when the verses was hot. Mm-hmm. This is during the pandemic, of course. if you no longer want to visit that ideal, just say, nah, I'm good on that. But to go out here and post this man, oh, he a rat, blase, oh, he took the stand and snitched on his dead homies, etc., etc. Bro, that's some low blow ass shit. And then when he was on when T.I. was on Gilly the Kid's podcast, what that shit?
$1 million worth of game.
Yeah,
$1 million
worth
worth of game.
Yeah, when he was on that podcast, yes, T.I. said that 50 was ducking the smoke. We all know he was talking about that shit musically,
Yeah.
but 50 decided to take shit personal. Personally, and this is just me, I'm not the biggest 50 fan, but I'm not the biggest 50 hater either. I don't hate.
I'm a 50 fan like a motherfucker.
I mean, don't get
right
me
is
wrong.
right, wrong is wrong.
I love Get Rich or Die Trying. I love certain. Truthfully, he's a part of my teenage years and whatnot. Because in 2003, when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, that shit was the hottest shit in the game. You know what I mean?
Like, I ain't gonna lie, in this house is a G-Unit side, is a Murder Inc. side.
Right.
I'm on the G-Unit side. My wife most definitely on the Murder Inc. side. I had to take her to a Ja Rule concert. We had to sit right here. All that stuff.
Yeah, and I love Ja Rule just as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But back to original post, what I was saying, I forgot my train of thought.
Nah, just 50 Cent was real, like, kind of influential, like, in your upbringing. Like, he was the shit. He was
the shit at that point in time. And 2003 is a very influential year of my life and whatnot. And pretty much 50 was the soundtrack of that year. There's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. To put this man out there and try to make it seem like he's snitching. Again, like I said, I'm not the biggest 50 fan, I'm not the biggest 50 hater, but I think his downfall is taking shit too personal. And for you to drag this man's wife into the mix of some shit that shouldn't even be caught, that's really just a rap, not even a rap beef, but more of a competitive nature at this point.
But that's what the thing is. I think 50 didn't want to, like, it was a man thing. His ego was bruised. He didn't want to see like I was backing down from this man. Because 50 did have a tweet years ago, I think it was years ago, he was like, he would have did it then, but the verses was something when pandemic was going on, we back outside now. Like, that was something everybody was doing in the pandemic.
Right, and that's understandable, but even No Limit and Cash Money just did one a few months
Bro,
back.
I mean, that was 50 Cent. The verses still jump. Period, bro. Yes, yeah, like,
I mean, that
fuck
shit
after pandemic, yeah.
Yeah, come on, this is a celebration of two catalogs, you know what I mean? Some people might say it's a battle. No, versus in my opinion, I'm going up against you, you going up against me. We gonna see who got the better songs, but it's not necessarily about who's better or who's pushing out the most hits and stuff like that. We celebrating each other.
And you want to know what verses I seen that really kind of displayed that showcase that?
What?
The DMX Snoop Dogg.
Exactly.
They celebrated each other's catalog. They was rapping each other's shit on the law.
Exactly. And my favorite versus battle besides the Bone Thugs and Harmony 3 6 Mafia battle. What's the Earth, Wind, and Fire Isaac Brothers?
Damn, I missed that one. You know what I was gonna say?
What?
Man, I had the LED lights going on, nigga. Blowing big, had the bottom one there. That Gucci Man Jesus. Boy, that shit was lit, bro.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't relate to that.
Boy, that was my era. I did my little thing out there, you know what I'm saying? Past tense. But that was the soundtrack to my life back then, bro. Like that Trap or Die era and all that stuff, that's so icy. And I ain't gonna lie, I was not a Gucci Man fan in the beginning. Because I felt like a lot of people was just doing songs with Jesus trying to get on that wave. When I found out who Gucci was, man, I've been a fan ever since. He had an album called Hard to Kill. Mm-hmm. Man, I've been a Gucci Mane fan ever since, though. But that was one of my favorite ones, man.
Okay.
But back to the with the T.I. and 50 thing, is the right way and the wrong way of doing things. Right. When you bring family members in the mix, when it's just me and you, and let's say I bring you a child or you bring my child in there, all gloves off. Exactly. So when King jumped in the mix, I can't really be mad at him. Y'all can't say he need to stay in the child's place. That's a grown ass man with a child of his own now. Right. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no kid no more. And you talking about that man mom.
But see, the thing about people is so fucking fickle, bro. Because y'all telling King that he need to stay in the child's place, but y'all want this man to accept some shit that you know damn well you yourself wouldn't accept.
Yeah.
That's hypocrite shit, you know what I mean? Don't get on here talking about, oh, he need to stay in the child's place, bro. Oh, that man mama dead. Yeah, his mama dead, don't get me wrong. I don't agree. That's one thing, me personally, bro, that's one thing I do not do. I do not speak ill of the dead. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, sometimes Speaking ill of the dead is fucked up. But calling a spade is another thing. Some things you can't mention about a person that's deceased. You can't talk about a person that's deceased and not mention certain things about them. Now, don't get me wrong, 50 and his mama didn't have the greatest relationship that we all know that's well documented. And her name shouldn't have been brought up in it. But you can't do something to somebody and tell them how to respond. Okay? You talked about that man mama, you posted a picture of that man mama trying to be funny. The fact of the matter is, if you really think about it, 50 minutes match. And we ain't even talking about his daddy. We talking about the motherfucking kids.
Yeah. King took that shit to hell and dragged me to hell, bro. Like the movie, yeah.
Motherfucker said, who? I forgot exactly who said this shit. I think it was a King Shoulder. No, it wasn't King Shoulder, but it was a comedian that said this shit. He was like, got doggone. King took that shit to where the devil go.
Yeah.
When the devil died, what hell he go to?
Yeah. I ain't never heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got T.I.'s other son, who's not even Tiny's son. Both of his sons, that's not Tiny's son, getting on 50 ass about that shit. Fact of the matter is, you can't do shit to a person that tell them how to react.
Yeah.
And right now, 50, his ego might be motherfucking bruised. It might actually be bruised, bro, but that's what you gotta learn as a man. Take your feelings out of every goddamn thing. Because if you throw a rock, you should be able to catch one too with your ass.
Well, just like I said, I was telling somebody earlier, that thing with 50, like, 50 been with that T.I. back in the day about the rat allegations on the Junior album.
Right.
He called T.I. snitch back then, you know what I'm saying? But it just kind of, I guess, snowballing now. He trying to make it worldwide because he didn't have the Twitter fingers back then, like posting all that stuff back then. So now, I guess it's more documented now because 50, we go to 50 pages just for the mess.
Right, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So with him doing that, I just felt like he just really kind of opened up an old wound, something he done already said, and like T.I. can take it all day. But when you go to Tiny ain't got nothing to do with this. Tiny,
exactly.
like I ain't gonna lie, Tiny mom might be white, but that's the most ghetto hood ass motherfucker you gonna ever see, bro. So I ain't gonna sit up here like Tiny defenseless. She can't hold her own, you know what I'm saying? But still at the same time, she ain't had shit to do with this. This two men. So that's why they jumped in and went crazy like the way they want to. But don't talk about my mama, my stepmama, what the fuck else. But she ain't got shit to do with this. This men going at it. Right. Don't bring no woman in this. So you talk about my mama. Your mama may be dead, but I'm gonna talk about your mama too. Just like you say, you can't tell me how to react.
The thing about it is 50 is known for going after weak opponents. Motherfucker, you met your match now. You fight. This is the form, not even kids, but these are young children. Not young children. These are young adults, bro. It's only but so much shit people gonna take, and I personally think that you got a lot of people that's tired of 50's antics.
Yeah, it's a lot. I hear it all the time, bro. I'm here for all that 50 shit, but there's a lot of people tired of it. Bro,
because it's a time and place for certain things, and that wasn't the time and place. If you was gonna say anything, you just bro. I know we talked about this in the past, but I don't think it's a good idea. I just want to pass on the idea or whatnot. This is not the right time. Just be respectful, but be calling this man a rat, shit like that, bro. You open up your own can of worms. You feeling some type of way because the shit did not go the way that you planned. You thought you was gonna bully and mean this man to death and just say shit about this man's wife and think the motherfuckers went with step.
Man, them motherfuckers done made a Mick, the Harris family done did a fucking EP. You know what I'm saying? All that shit they don't drop. Them boys done completed an EP, and like I said, 50 still got a chance to come back. But if it don't happen this weekend, I really don't want to hear it, bro.
I mean, no, let's just be honest, bro. 50 is going to the memes and shit because he can't. His pen game ain't no way near as good as T.I.'s.
T.I. always sharpen that steel. Like T.I., he doesn't act as much as like a 50 Cent would or whatever, got the producer credits and different shit. But T.I. never really left that lab. Even like, it was just 50 kept fucking with, I don't know, 50 kind of called it himself. Because even when T.I. was doing the comedy shit, 50 was poking at him then. You know what I'm saying? About goddamn crickets during, I didn't see the stand-up, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people didn't receive the T.I. stand-up well or whatever. And I think that just it maybe was good, but I think a lot of people mad because like some months back, T.I. and them had, in this crew, the Ha Ha Mafia, they had this whole thing about New York hip-hop and shit. Right. They wasn't really fucking with New York hip-hop like that.
And rightfully so, because New York fans don't fuck with the South like that. If you think about it, New York rules, New York guards hip hop with an iron fist, bro. So if you ain't coming correct, shit, look how long it took for the South to even get some type of recognition of New York.
But that's why we had to create our own genre as well as the West Coast. The West Coast had to go through the same shit. Like, y'all don't want to let us in. We got our own shit going on out here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's indeed true, bro. But, you know, like I said, you know, if you can make it in New York, you can make it in.
Yeah.
Okay, it's two places. If nowadays, if you think about it, it's really three markets that you really want to make it in the rap game: New York, L.A., and the A. Okay, if you can make it in one of those three markets, you good, bro.
Yeah.
You are good. But just even in biasness, bro, New York hate everybody.
And I say this shit quick.
And if you think about it, they hate the South so much. You know why?
Why?
Because if you think about it, the South has been the region that has had the hip hop game in the chokehold for the longest.
And I say this shit all the fucking time. T.I. is true indeed the king of the South.
Hell yeah, he's the king of the
But
South.
I feel like Pastor Troy is the king uncrowned, bro.
He is.
When Pastor Troy dropped that No More Playing GA, Southside ain't stopped holding since, bro.
You can even go further than that, bro. I mean, go earlier than that. Because shit, if you think about it, man, the South has always had rap.
No, we always have, but I'm talking about when we won that fucking run, it started, I feel like, at that Pastor Troy No More Playing GA.
No,
Tell me when.
I ain't gonna say that.
Give me the song.
I'm gonna tell you what it really is. The South been running the ball since Master P.
No, I'm talking about chokehold wise. I'm talking
Yes, chokehold wise since Master P, bro.
about Master P put it up. He kicked the dough in on the low, but I'm just talking about when Master P had his run, you still had the Wu-Tang and different people. Everybody still was checking for other New York rappers and shit. When the South really started holding, bro, when I used to call this shit A-Time radio, because every time you turn on the radio, it was nothing but Atlanta coming on. Then it came to a point where Houston went crazy. Then Memphis came right behind that shit. Florida had their run where Briscoe, Flo Rida, the Plazas and all them came out. Every section of the South started having their run and shit.
Right.
And I feel like it happened then, bro. P, True and D, and Cash Money, you want to say that? Cash Money came in right behind them. But it was still room for other people. You still was listening to the Jay-Z's and all that and different stuff.
Yeah, nah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with you on that. But like I was saying, man, you think about it, the South has always had somebody in hip hop.
We did from Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke was really the one.
Okay, Uncle Luke, Scarface, the face of the Ghetto Boys.
Scarface.
The Ghetto Boys. I'm gonna call out a name that people don't even give them their credit because they wasn't gangster rap.
A horn.
Arrested Development. Them boys from out there.
Bruh.
Them boys from
My
out
right
there.
hand guy. Me and my wife we just came from get something to eat. I took out to eat last night. We were riding the car listening to Mr. Wonder. I was just telling her last night. I just thought this shit was just a cool ass bop as a kid. I never listened to the lyrics until I got as an adult. Mr. Wonder was a bum, but he had so much knowledge and just different shit. Like, he out there just, what's up, young blood type shit. Like, you give me $1, I'm kicking game to you type shit. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people don't know. Them boys from right there in the fucking A.
Yeah.
If you Arrested Development, shit, then you got Outkast.
Yeah.
Then you got Goody Mob.
Before you even go any further, I'm mad that it was during COVID time. You remember when Columbia used to do the famously New Year, Hot New Year? They used to have the party downtown. They had Lauryn Hill one year and all that shit. Well, during COVID, they had Arrested Development, but they had to pre-tape their performance and shit because nobody was like coming out. We couldn't come outside. It was Steve Benjamin last year's man and shit. I hated that shit, bro. I would have loved to go see them live in concert.
Cause I know I didn't see them live in concert, but I met Speech.
What?
I met Speech back in 2013 because he's a member of my church section.
That's hard.
The Church of Christ, International Church of Christ. He's a member of, at least he was one of the members down in one of the Atlanta churches.
Mm-hmm.
He came when they did St. Patrick's Day weekend in 2013. He came and ate with our church at what's the name of that? Not the Toaster Strudel, but it's a
Toaster Spot.
Not the Toaster Hot Spot. No, this is before that was born. Over there off of 12th Street, but in downtown West Columbia.
You talking about the church?
No, not the church. I'm talking about it was a restaurant.
I don't know.
I forgot the name of that restaurant.
Speaking of the Toaster Spot, though, you know Joe Biden here today. Eating at the Toaster Spot.
Fuck Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. But yeah, but I ain't knew that though.
Yeah, I got a picture of me meeting him.
That's hard.
Yeah, man, real down to earth.
They're a real prolific group, man. Like, yeah, they're a real prolific group, bro.
Yeah, he was in there eating shrimp. And he's like, man, I don't eat meat. When he started eating shrimp, I was like, I thought you don't eat shrimp. I mean, I thought you don't eat meat. He said, man, I eat shrimp.
It's not really meat though. It's I forgot what you call it, but it's like when it's called a pescatarian.
Yeah. You
just eat seafood and shit. You don't consume, I guess, foot-dwelling animals or whatever.
Yeah, like the actual mammals and shit.
Yeah, it's just water creatures and shit.
If you want to be honest, shit, the roach, shrimp will fucking.
But I heard that too, bro. I ain't never get that shit though.
Yeah. Huh?
So they the roaches of the sea or something?
Yeah, they
bottom the ocean.
They bottom feeders.
So what the fuck is a catfish?
A bottom feeder.
A big roach?
Yeah. A big roach with whiskers.
Shit. But yeah, man, we've been had those ones like even after. Well, we're going back in that time, but yeah, Arrested Development for sure. Back in the day, I thought they probably were like a New York group. I didn't know they were just from Atlanta until like later on. Yeah, and I think a lot of them met in college and shit.
Yeah, they met in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. But yeah, some of them was already from Atlanta.
But you got to think about this too. Even though a lot of them people up in New York, all their roots is down south. Even like your Spike Lee's, like I said, 50 Cent's grandparents from I think it's Anderson, South Carolina. Right. You know what I'm saying? All our people leave and move to New York. So you can't ever turn your back on where you come from, because that's why it came back in their face.
But you really think about it, that's not where they're from. Their people's from.
You're right. They're from up there. You're right.
They are born and raised up there. You know what I mean? Even when you say 50, he got people in. You got to think about it. DMX had people in Spartanburg, if I ain't mistaken.
Well, now I think I heard his daughter stay there too. Okay. But I know when Big Daddy Kane, he was talking about when he did that movie Posse back in the day. Mm-hmm. He went down to go visit his people here in South Carolina just to get his dialect and all that stuff up. So a lot of them got to come back home for different stuff and.
Yeah, for different reasons.
Yeah.
The Wayans brothers.
I just heard that.
They from Winsboro.
I just heard that.
Winsboro.
Mm-hmm.
Some years back when somebody died in their family that was closely related to them, I believe it was like an aunt, they all came to town.
But you know who be Mr. New York, but he ain't really from New York? Well, he from New York because he done been out in years. Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock from...
if you notice, everybody hates Chris, doesn't start until he was the age of like 13. That's when they moved from down here. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's crazy when you got so many celebrities that's actually from South Carolina that claim other places.
Yeah.
Like James Brown. James Brown was from he from down there near the Augusta Low Country.
I know, and you know the first report I ever did as a kid in elementary school was on James Brown. Mm. That was one of my dad raised me on James Brown, but that was one of my favorites.
Exactly where he was from down there.
But he said South Carolina used to give him so much shit. Used to lock him up all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you somebody else who I didn't even know was from South Carolina and actually graduated from Johnson.
Who?
Paul Benjamin.
What that name? I don't know that name.
The actor.
I'm gonna have to look him up.
Old school Paul Benjamin. Let me see what movie. You remember Do the Right Thing?
Yeah.
ML. The old man that was, you remember it was three of them that was sitting down.
It was Robin Harris.
Robin Harris. The guy who did Your Brakes Do, Motherfucker.
Yeah.
And the other dude who got into it with the Korean at the end, but they was burning up everything.
Damn.
Black motherfucker. Yeah, Paul Benjamin went to Johnson.
I ain't knew that. Damn. That's crazy, bro.
He went to Johnson, man.
Yeah. A lot of people don't went through these South Carolina hallways and schools and all that shit, man. Like, for my grade level, I went to school, I don't know if you know her, Tiana Paris.
Never heard of.
Well, she played in, have you ever heard of Captain Marvel? Mm-hmm. She played the daughter of Monica Rambeau. Okay. She played in, Chirac. She played in the Candyman remake. She played in Survivor's Remorse, which is LeBron James show. She played a lot of stuff. Okay. But yeah, man, there's a lot of, we can go on and on all day, man.
Goddamn. Viola Davis.
Bro, I was just about to say her. Viola Davis, Chadwick Boseman. Goddamn, me and my sons got a picture with Michael Coulter, who played Luke Cage.
Okay.
South Carolina.
Yeah, Viola, she from Singleton Plantation. That's over there in St. Matthews. And come to find out, it's a book out here by a guy named Jacob Stroyer, named My Life in the South Side. He grew up on Singleton Plantation. Come to find out that's somebody, he's related to our family. He's one of our cousins.
It's Black history, y'all.
Right. Exactly.
Our history.
Which means if he grew up on Singleton Plantation and our family is from that area, it's a possibility Viola Davis may be our relation.
9 times out of 10, bro, like, Them slave masters been mastering.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
I'm telling you,
Hey, don't say that shit like
them slave masters been mastering, bro. Like,
great words you got
they
there,
were,
bro.
man, I just think about that shit a lot though. Like, you never know, like, who is your family because they don't split the black family up so bad back in the day, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. And another thing is, black people, we don't do family reunions like that no more.
Nah, we don't. I was just thinking, I don't need to go to my dad's house and get some more VCR tapes we have with the family reunions on there and digitize them. You know what I'm saying? Because just to have that record of stuff on that. Because we have, they still do family reunions probably like
once every 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, every couple of years. It's not frequent like every year like it used to be. Like we used to get up, we'll go to Philly one year, we'll go to Jersey one year. They have it in Atlanta. It was like always somewhere different, but everybody still would come, bro. Now it's like a lot of the people done died off, like the OGs and stuff, and the young ones ain't taking up the mantle of doing it.
And I was just about to say, that's really the real family reunions right there, the funerals.
Yeah, you're right. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I had a party last year. I invited all the family members or whatever. Do you know ain't never like one of them showed up off the one side? I invited everybody, but ain't never one of them showed up. It was a lot of the homies, everybody showed up, but it was like one family member.
Yeah, man, it be like that sometimes, you know. Fact of the matter is, a lot of times, bro, when grandmama and granddaddy done passed away, when the matriarchs of the family really passed away, everybody do their own thing.
Yeah. They ain't think about nothing else. You gotta think about it be kids going to school with their cousins, don't even know their cousins. They probably fighting each other, bullying or whatever. This your damn cousin.
And I had an experience with that twice, man.
My kid had experience with that.
Cause as a matter of fact, little dude I went to school with at Oak Cliff, always been cool with him, bro. You may know him, may have heard of him, named Spook Jew Black or whatnot. But
Yeah.
James Sumter, come to find out, that's my damn cousin. That's my grandma. He's my grandmother's nephew by way of her sister.
Okay. So when you find out during school or after?
I found out after he died.
Damn. So you didn't find out until after he passed away?
It was way after he passed away when I found out.
See?
Didn't know we was even in relation to one another. I went to school with another one of my cousins that's deceased.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know that till after he had to die. Then thankfully another one of my cousins on my dad's side and whatnot, he lived. Went through school with her all 4 years. Then come find out, that's my daddy nephew. I mean that's my daddy nephew's son, his oldest son. I never met him.
Yeah.
But you know it be like that, man. Unfortunately, man. As long as we have to try to preserve as much information as we can. We got to. One thing we definitely have to do is do better by our matriarchs, our patriarchs of the family. You know, our grandmamas, grandfathers.
You're right, and I'm guilty of that because I got a grandma still living right now to this day, and I don't go visit my grandma like I'm supposed to. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I know I'm gonna have to hear, but I'm gonna deserve to hear everything I'm gonna hear. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. See.
So you most definitely right about that.
I'm blessed to have had my grandmother for 36 years. She's still living.
That's what's up.
My grandmother is the only grandmother or grandparent I've had for 36 years. My dad's mom died when I was 8, but I didn't have a relationship with her for whatever reason between my daddy and my mama. Don't want to know. Neither one of them, my dad or my grandmother, is here to defend themselves. They're both deceased. My mom's father ran out on her, my grandmother, way back in the 50s. Don't know anything about him. Can't even tell you his name.
Damn.
But it is what it is, you know. Shit happens. You definitely gotta be aware of your bloodline, especially if you. One thing I get upset with my grandmother about is the fact that we have family right here in Eastover. She don't want to go and find out who our family is because she's still feeling some type of way about a broken party promise almost 50, 60 years ago. Grandma, you gotta let that go. The people that you hold a grudge on is probably dead and gone.
Yeah.
We got family members like, and not to be funny, but you know, you never know, man. You could be fucking one of your family members and not even know it, bro. And that, I'm saying it in a jokeful manner.
No, it's the truth. Like me and my first baby mom, like we had to make sure because me and her share the same first cousin, and that's because of her dad and his dad is brothers, my mom and his mom and sisters. But we still had to make sure, like, it be little shit like that. But we not related, but we just got the same first cousin and shit.
Right. And
but you got to find out, bro.
you
Cause
definitely got to find out before your kids get walking around here with a half head and shit like that.
and we ass head, goddamn. But yeah, like, it don't be, I think Kevin Gates even talked about that one time. He don't fuck around and hit one of his cousins. You know what I'm saying?
You know what that motherfucker was saying, goddamn shit. We got a beautiful thing, why fuck that up?
Oh, man.
That motherfucker.
But yeah, shit, like, you got to know who your people is, though, bro.
Definitely.
Most definitely, man, because that shit can save your life. You can be in a predicament, bro, and a nigga just walk by you like you just another nigga, some shit gonna happen to you. I ain't got shit to do with that. That could be your damn cousin about to goddamn go down that road, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. See, me as a person, man, if I see somebody going through a dire situation, like physically where they about to die and shit like that.
Oh, I'm gonna most definitely intervene about that.
Intervene is, you know what I mean? Me personally, man, even if you on the side of the road, bro, if I can help, why not? Because at the end of the day, your shoes can fit my feet any day.
Yeah, but I was talking about on the strength of like about to send himself up the road like he out here hanging and fucking around with these niggas.
Right.
Cause no, you don't even need to do that. Cause I know what come along fucking with them. I could try to put you on whatever the good shit, you know what I'm saying, if I can, but you need to get up out of that. But if I don't know you too tough, man, that's your life. You probably just I don't have shit to do with it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand exactly where you coming from. You just have to. We have, as a people, we have to start caring about each other, whether or not you're related or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether we friends or not. If I see this young boy going down the wrong road, hey yo man, let me holler at you right quick, bro. That ain't the road you need to go down. The motherfuckers you think your friends is your friends. Now, if I tell you and explain to you what I see, if you decide to go through doing what you're doing, that's on you.
At least you got the college try. I tried.
Right. At least I spoke something to you. If you go down that road, I can't feel guilty. Why? Because I gave you the game.
Yeah.
If you chose to take heed, you take heed. If you did, you can't say that a black man didn't see you doing something that you ain't had no business and nobody decided to try to stop you.
And that's the thing, you're right. And I'm guilty, but I'm not guilty of that. Because I even got members in my family that I feel like I should speak to more about certain shit they doing. But I just don't, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it ain't affecting my immediate household and shit. But if something was to happen to them, it would. You know what I'm saying? It's going to affect more than it's going to affect me like a motherfucker. So I should speak up and say something about this shit. So you're right about that, bro.
At the end of the day, man, all you can do is give a try. You can talk and you can drag a horse to water, but you can't do what?
Make them drink.
My point exactly. So it is what it is.
But switching gears a little bit. Tonight is Elimination Chamber with WWE.
All right, we on some wrestling
So
shit.
yeah. So goddamn, I gotta look at my phone to see what the lineup is, but I think it was Jay Uso just got hurt last night in SmackDown, so he out. I don't know if that was scripted or what, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if he wanted to be there for his brother about to have his baby, because you know now I'm about to have a baby soon or whatever. And Big Jim, he out with his wife and shit, goddamn. But it was somebody going along. They had a storyline where the masked person, he was taking out a lot of the wrestlers and shit, and they revealed him last night. And nobody knew who the fuck this dude was, bro. I ain't knew who the fuck he was. I know you ain't been keeping up with certain little things, but it was some guy that got revealed last night. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. I think he came from independent promotion. They're trying to big him up in the company or something.
I seen that.
You seen it? Yeah. Did you know who he was? I didn't know who the fuck he was.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know who he was, but that's a decoy.
To throw off because who the real was?
Yeah, that's a decoy.
That'll be smart as hell.
That'll be a decoy.
That'll be smart, bro.
Because what sense does it make for you to be running around here? Man, look at that.
He was knocking out top stars and shit, too.
Okay. I don't care what nobody say, but that's Seth Rollins.
Might be.
That's Seth Rollins.
Might be. Because he been hurt for a little minute, but I feel like he been popping up in little different events here and there. I think he might be a little better.
Think about it, man. Who the fuck else do the curse on?
Him.
My point exactly.
But we got a little star search going on.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's Seth Rollins, man. Come on, he the one running around who cursed up in everybody and running.
Yeah.
Come on, think about it.
And then it's his old crew too.
I was just about to say, who was the number one target? The Vision.
Yeah, and that was he was the leader of that shit.
All right, they kicked his ass out of it, so that's Seth Rollins.
And they got this whole little mystery box going on in WWE right now. I think it's supposed to be revealed tonight at Elimination Chamber.
Mystery box.
Yeah, it's somebody supposed to be. They supposed to be opening the box, and there's supposed to be somebody in there. I can't pronounce his name. the guy with AEW, he used to wear the face paint with all white and it got like black in it. His name started D dancing or dancing, some more crazy shit. I'm gonna show you this picture real quick.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest AEW fan.
I
tried to get into it.
Me too.
I tried to get into it when it first came out. It just, I'm sorry, nobody do it like the E.
I appreciate AEW for being a competitor. Right. You know what I'm saying? Kind of give me kind of a little bit of WCW vibes.
But they're not the E.
No, it's not. And they saying it may be because he just got removed from all the AEW shit. They say it may be him.
Donna Hansen.
You ever heard of him?
Nope.
You ever seen him before?
Nope.
Yeah, he's the he was with AEW and shit. They just recently took him off all their like roster or whatever. She just got released. He been asking for a release for a minute. So they say he may be in the box. They're saying it may be Vince McMahon in the box because they're saying Vince trying to buy the company back. He got some siders with him, gonna help him back him up with the money. They say he may be buying the company back. How do you feel about that?
I don't know, man, because I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this. In the beginning, when Triple H took over officially, the motherfucker was cooking.
Cause you know Vince still was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was okay. Okay.
That motherfucker was cooking. When you got WrestleMania 39, where Vince did night 2 and Triple H did night 1, Triple H was cooking. Vince got night 2.
Now, which one was that?
39 is Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns 1.
Was that the one when John Cena fought
Austin Theory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that when Snoop came down with the low rider with Ray on. Okay. Right. I see it both.
Triple H was cooking. WrestleMania 40.
I might have missed that one.
The Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns.
That one he won it. I didn't catch that.
Mania 40. Triple H was cooking the entire event. Somewhere in between that point and the TKO takeover, WWE has gone down.
That's what I think we really did it, like that because they really about the sponsorships. You know they got the rings like a boxing ring now.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And all the promotion and shit like that. WWE has gone down since then. You know what I mean? You don't get the same. It's like, I honestly don't watch wrestling as much as I used to.
That's understandable. I just got back into it because my son is really like
since the TKO takeover. I don't watch it as much. It's too predictable. It's too business savvy for me. I remember when WWE was strictly about the wrestling. Back the 90s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different beast right there. Yeah.
Exactly. It was strictly about wrestling. Every now and then you might have a wrestler do a movie. That might have been The Rock, make a cameo or do his whole little Hollywood schmill, you know, since he really stepped off the scene. It was only The Rock. But now you got John Cena. Now you got Roman Reigns making appearances in certain movies. You got Cody Rhodes doing the same.
But you got to think about this too. WWE kind of started that on the low too with the John Cena's because remember they had the movie The Marine, and then they had to Condemn with Stone Cold. Then they had like WWE has a whole movie studio.
That's what I'm saying.
Big Show got movies. Edge. I can go on and on.
That's what I'm saying. Once it went from being 100% wrestling to an entertainment.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
It's starting to be. It's too the. They feel like they got too many hands and other avenues to put more focus into the wrestling.
Yeah, because that one they was doing the XFL. They trying to revamp it again and shit too.
And I think the XFL would have been successful had it not been for COVID.
You know they wound up selling it. They wound up folding into something else.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because they really, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't have a full season because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then at the same time when that happened, that's when you had the AFL that came back out. Not the Arena Football League. Is it the AFL?
It is Arena Football.
Not that with the other league that came out. Because you remember you had the SFL.
Was it not the CFL? Because that's the Canadian Football League.
It was another. Was it the CFL? Whoever it was, they got. They started getting aired on TV around the same time the SFL was getting aired on TV. Then of course, like you said, they ended up selling off because they sold off because of COVID.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Rock and his wife was taking over there, bam, and COVID.
Yeah, that's who had it, The Rock. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying.
His business partner, ex-wife.
Yeah. So once WWE became more of an entertainment company versus being strictly. Now, don't get me wrong. Even when Vince McMahon told everybody this is sports entertainment, it was still about the wrestling.
Yeah.
It was still strictly 100% wrestling. Like I said, your wrestler might make a cameo here, might make a cameo there. And you say WWE has always had their hands in the movie industry. I agree because you just named the Marine and Condemned. I'm going to do you one better. You remember Hogan had No Holds Barred back in the 80s?
I don't want to remember that.
Okay. Remember, No Holds Barred was a WWF movie back in the 80s where Hulkamania was at its strongest. That starred Hogan and Tiny Lister,
Yeah.
aka Debo. Yeah, it might have sucked, but you know, WWE has had their hand in the movie industry for a while. But even after that point, they've started to focus more on wrestling. The product was wrestling at the end of the day. When you start doing music, well, don't get me wrong, they always had somebody make their music and stuff like that.
Jim Johnson.
Yeah, Jim Johnson, who needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he fucking do.
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. When you started doing things like, I'm gonna tell you when WWE started to get goofy for me. Around 2011.
What happened?
When they started doing every week they had a guest, general manager. That's when shit started.
I wasn't watching wrestling then.
Okay, they started doing goofy shit. You remember the Muppets, right? When the Muppets had that movie, their little comedy movie around that time, they had an episode where the Muppets was running around the damn arena. You know, doing interviews and shit with the damn little segments and shit with the wrestlers and shit like that. When they started, and don't get me wrong, you also have to attribute this to the fact that they was trying to be more entertainment friendly due to
that was the PG era.
Yeah, the PG era due to Lyndon McMahon running politics. They had to find
no blood.
No blood, none of that. They had to do other things to try to keep things WWE I guess it spicy or interesting and whatnot because they tried to make it more kid friendly at that point. But I still say that it's strayed away from the entertainment value of what WWE strictly is all about. It's professional wrestling. When shit started to become too predictable, that's when wrestling stopped being fun for me.
I don't really say it's...
Now, don't get me wrong. I watch year in and year out. I might not watch nothing else, but I'm going to try to make sure I'm going to watch Royal Rumble.
Okay.
WrestleMania. SummerSlam.
And you hit me.
And Survivor Series. You can watch that and depending on it, people might look at it as a part of the big four or the big five now. Money in the Bank.
Yeah, cause yeah.
Okay.
That's weighs a lot. Whoever got that briefcase.
Right. So you try to stick around and watch those 5 pay-per-views. I try to watch those 5 pay-per-views. If I can hit all 5 of those, or if not Money in the Bank, basically, or without that one, if you can hit the big 4, I was pretty alright. Because the big 4 will put you into a knowing of what's been going on these last few months and whatnot.
They'll recap you and get you caught up.
Get you caught up or whatnot. WWE, in just my opinion, it just started to be a little too funky, or a little wonky, I should say, you know what I mean? Because I'm used to, and you're going to agree when I say this, we grew up in a wrestling era where a feud might be going on 2 and 3 fucking years between 2 individuals before you get a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, and feuds be over too quick now. The best thing they had going was the Bloodline feud shit.
The Bloodline has been running shit for the last 4 years, dude. After WrestleMania 40, after WrestleMania 40, and when that was that Survivor Series that year when they did the War Games.
That lost in that one the Usos lost the belt. That was WrestleMania when they lost the belt.
No, they lost the belts at WrestleMania.
Okay.
To Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens. The whole Bloodline thing just started to go down. Okay, it started to suck.
They even started trying to do the spinoff with the they got the spinoff going now with the My Family Tree.
Yeah, the My Family Tree. Come on, man. We all know that's the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is garbage. It's just too. I don't think they'll put.
I can't take Solo serious no more. Like as a
wrestler.
No, not even as a wrestler, as a fucking heel. He got that. He's showing that comedic side. You know what I'm saying? Like as the leader that's supposed to be of this fraction, you ain't got that factor no more.
And don't get me wrong, Solo Sikoa was so much better when he kept his mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because he was unpredictable at this point. You didn't know what the hell he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I told people going into WrestleMania 39 with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes the first time, I told everybody, okay, if it all balls down, if the Usos come out, Cody Rhodes got what's his name? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as his backup. But that leaves an odd man out. Who the fuck would watch Solo Sikoa?
Yeah, he come to wreck shit.
Alright. Reason why Roman Reigns kept the belt that year.
But going back to the original thing, with me and the Vince shit, I love Vince because without Vince, there'd be no none of this, period. But Vince used to have a vindictive attitude towards shit. He will bury you if he didn't like something you do. He'll do this whack ass gimmicks. He'll jobber you to death. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have you just written off TV because of how you felt about some personal shit, bro. And I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Keep that shit business, bro. Put your pride to the side about a lot of shit.
And that's why I said what I said. When certain people of status have an ego, they feel like they can do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
Had a little commercial technical difficulty, whatever you want to call it. But we're back at it, man.
Alright, so me and my man, we've been talking about a subject for the last few minutes before we got on some wrestling. When it comes to music.
Yeah.
Something that I'm not gonna say it bothered me, but I always wondered what happened to the significance of the movie soundtrack. Because, you know, we all know back in the day, especially in the 90s, if you had a black movie, the soundtrack had to be hit. The soundtrack was just
Soul Food had a good ass soundtrack.
Oh, okay. The soundtrack was just as important as the movie because, in my opinion,
it was a companion to the movie.
It was a companion to the movie, but not only that, back in that time frame, if you were not an artist that was featured on a lot of other people's songs and stuff like that back in that time frame, having soundtrack joints was the only cuts that you would have out there in between albums.
Yeah, just like I said, I named some people like Snoop Dogg on beat cover. Another artist somebody might not know of, but they got to know him through a soundtrack. I threw him up, you probably don't know him, but his name was Joe Beast. It was like a lot of people, I didn't get to know them until I heard them on the soundtrack. Right. Sometimes that may be the only time you get to hear them. Like a lot of record labels would use that as like a platform for them. Like, let's see how they test with this, put them on their soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? Right, before we give them a chance to do a whole feature-length album or give them a single or whatever, put them on the soundtrack. See how it does and shit.
I agree with that because if you think about it, that's how we really got an introduction to T.I.
What soundtrack?
On that Lockdown soundtrack with Bone Crusher.
Damn, I ain't knew that.
Yeah.
I need to go get it. They told me about to speak Lockdown.
Yeah, that song with Bone Crusher. I ain't never scared.
Oh.
You forgot he was the last verse.
But T.I. was out before then, though.
But he didn't catch on because his album flopped.
Shit, I don't know, man. Well, you know, it's a little pocket of motherfuckers who I was always one of the motherfuckers who, if I find an artist I like, I'll fuck with them. Like, I hated when the world got on some of my artists, bro. I hated when the world got on Slim Duncan. I hated when the world got on Young Scooter. You know what I'm saying? Certain artists, when I found them, I kind of tried to keep them close to the chest and shit. And T.I. in the beginning, I wasn't really feeling it, bro. When he did that song, Benny Man, I don't know what it took for me to get older or mature. What Bad Man get shot anyway? Pharrell did the beat to it and shit. You probably got to go back and look, but it's on I'm Serious and shit.
Okay, that's why, because you really think about it, he did release the album, but it didn't catch fire.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get an introduction to T.I. until
24s when I really he popped off for me.
No, not 24s. For me, it was the Bone Crusher joint.
Never Scared.
But it was another joint he was on before 24s came out, if I'm not mistaken.
It probably was. Was he a feature on it?
Yeah, he was a feature on it.
It's escaping me right now, but
If I'm not mistaken, it was another joint that T.I. was on before 24s came out.
Mm-hmm. Fucking when 24s came out, that shit was undeniable with me, bro. Yes, sir.
At that point, yeah.
But yeah, it's the soundtrack. It's like I said, some people still do soundtracks, but they don't hit the same, bro. Like soundtracks just be so dope. They would actually have like cuts of the movie on there and shit, certain scenes and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And the music videos.
Yes, bro. Yeah, the music videos most definitely like you kind of watching a little mini version of the movie or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Now they just like fuck.
I think the last soundtrack that really kind of caught a little wind was the first Black Panther.
Ooh, yes sir, yes sir. That was a good ass soundtrack, bro. I think it's Kendrick. He EP'd that one too. He executive produced that one. Yes sir, you ain't lying, bro. That shit hit.
Okay, and that's where we get King's Dead.
Yep. J-Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's me with that bullshit.
You ain't looking right with tourists.
That's all the stars.
With the
Man, that shit has some hits on it, bro.
Alright.
Yes, sir. And the second one, like Black Panther soundtrack, the only song I remember was the Rihanna song. I wasn't even trying to check for nothing else, and that was because they just kept playing it on the radio over and over and over and shit. I didn't really enjoy it. I ain't gonna lie to you, the second Black Panther movie, I watched half of it and I never went back to it. I don't know if it's because of the Chadwick Boseman thing or what, bro. It just didn't hit the same way.
I think that's exactly what it is. And then with the decision of them choosing not to make another give that role to another person.
Okay, so let me tell you what, not to cut you off, I was against, it was this guy, his name, shout out to him, E-Man Movie Reviews. He had a petition going on about recasting T'Challa. I was against it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, they need to leave. I thought he was just saying like, because he knew something I didn't know. I was like, no, just keep Black Panther there. Just keep him in the suit. Don't let him come out the suit. I didn't know they were killing off the character. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with that wholeheartedly. They should recast another Black Panther.
I'm going to say this. If they recast another Black Panther, then they had definitely got to do a whole nother cast of everybody else.
Well, they kind of, I think they're about to lean into that now because what they got going on now in the Marvel shit, they got the multiverse going on. So now I heard they got, I don't want to mess my dog name up. I knew his name for the longest. Who played on Snowfall? Who played Franklin Saint?
It was a few months back where they did they basically, it was on Facebook and they had a bunch of people, pretty much like a picture, but it was layers, pictures and pictures and pictures of people who could potentially play the Black Panther in the same suit. All they did was just change the
Damson, it was just a something. Damson something.
I think that was his name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. If we didn't get Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther, I think we should have got Michael B. Jordan as it. Because he played a hell of a role in Killmonger.
And that character was fucking mostly like the shit that he represented, bro. Like, yeah, his whole backstory on that shit, it was good as hell, bro. Like, well, he was the Black Panther for a little bit in the first movie.
Yeah, in the first movie, but by him dying at the end of the first movie, I think that kind of bit them in the ass at this point. Because I don't think they should have killed him off. They should have rehabilitated him. Because now you're at a point where Chadwick Boseman is deceased now. So now we really don't have no true Black Panther.
Well, we do, because you know I'm a big comic head. Right. And I have the first issue where they showed this, and they did that in the movie. But like I said, I didn't complete watching the movie. Siri, she does take that mantle. She does become Black Panther in the comics before they even try to do that shit in the movie. So she does become Black Panther. She's the Black Panther now. Yeah, so. So
what is it what happened in the comics?
That made her become Black Panther?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but you know it's a battle for that shit. You just can't get that shit.
Right.
And she always try to go up every year. Whenever, not every year, but whenever it's time to choose a new Black Panther, she would throw her hat in the ring, but she'll get defeated all the time. But she did eventually wind up becoming the Black Panther. Yeah, so she does, but a lot of people just wasn't. I mean, it was forced. The way they did it, and this shit was forced. It wasn't organically like how the storyline was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Because of the death of Chadwick Boseman.
And I think that right there, his actual passing, I think that would put them under a lot of pressure.
It did. He had to rewrite that shit. Yeah.
Right. They had to change it because of his passing and whatnot.
And with that big studio, like they got timelines where they gotta have shit completed and shit. And that really did put him under the pressure when he had to rewrite that shit. And he said it was hard for him to do that.
A lot of people felt like when he passed away, I personally believe that him dying, they should have just killed off the whole series.
What?
Because think about it, bro. Let's just be realistic. The closest person that we have besides Siri, we want to keep it as a man, keep Black Panther as a man. I would say it would be Mike, but he played Killmonger.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's dead as Killmonger, it defeats the purpose to bring him back. That's why I say storyline wise, they should have rehabilitated him instead of killing him off.
They should, and we were saying that because the same thing, like how the thing happened with you know, with them eating that fruit or whatever, and they get those abilities or whatever.
Right.
It kind of is like a healing thing too. And when he got penetrated with the suit, a lot of people were saying that the vibranium probably stopped some of that stuff because the way that the suit's made up and stuff. So they could have wrote it in to where they could have rehabilitated him and shit instead of just killing him off.
Just killing him off, man.
And I haven't finished the movie. I don't know if they did it like that too, but one time on Baku, he got that role too. You know, who was over the 8 tribe and shit. He got that man as a Black Panther one time too. So they could have did that. You know what I'm saying? So they could have went through a lot of avenues.
They could have, man, but let's just be honest. He killed that role to a point that you can't see nobody as a Black Panther.
Bro, this nigga fucking, like, Chadwick Boseman did that shit so good. Michael B. Jordan did that shit so good. Like, that nigga hairstyle is a default on a lot of games now. Like, you see everybody with that damn dread comb over shit now, bro, because of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, yeah, it was big time, bro. So, yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah,
Man.
they should have just killed off the whole series. And it's not a dig at nobody at Disney because of, you know, well, who is it Disney?
It's a Disney movie.
Okay. It's
The
no
mouse
dig
owns everything.
it's no dig to those guys or dig at them, but like for example, we look how many years it took for us to get a new Street Fighter movie. Cause Raul Julia, he killed the hell out of Bison.
But you wanna know what's crazy?
What?
He did that as like a love letter to his kids, because you know he was dying of stomach cancer at
Yeah,
the
he
time.
was dying of cancer at that time.
And you know that was one of his kids' favorite games, so he did that. They can have something to kind of remember him by and shit.
Right.
And I didn't like the. Well, no.
No, that was right. He was dying.
No. I'm saying you said how long it took for us to get another Street Fighter movie. It didn't take us long. It took us. Because you talking about the one that's about to come out now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first one that we get in the theatrical release, but they've been releasing other Street Fighter movies. They've been like straight. Well, no, they had another one that went to theater. It's called Street Fighter. I think it was The Legend of Chun Li. Michael Clark Duncan played. Hold on, I gotta do some research. I forgot who he played. Somebody significant. I don't want to say it was DJ,
The one with the fucked up ass haircut.
the Jamaican.
No, do you?
Miguel Nunez.
No, not him. Oh, no.
No, Miguel Nunez was
he was. Which one was he on there?
he was DJ.
DJ. That's my severance pay.
That was one of the lines on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this came out 2009.
Oh, I ain't
Street, yeah. So they did have another one out that went to theaters. And hold on, I should have went to cast. Michael Clark Duncan, I forgot who he played. I want to say he was Ballard.
Yeah, the one with the fucked up haircut.
Oh, Mike Tyson type shit. Yeah. That's 250 one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at.
And they had another one that was, bro, I ain't gonna lie, this shit was dope. It was called Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. It was the origin of Ryu and Ken. And Akuma with the Doc Haru and all that shit. Bro, that shit was good. This was a straight martial arts movie, dog.
Okay.
But yeah, they had a couple of them, but they didn't have a big theatrical release like that coming out now. So you right.
But you know, he killed that role as Bison to a point that nobody could touch that role for years.
And I feel like the dude who about to play it now, I don't even think he really gonna. I may be wrong, but I don't feel like he can be able to touch it like how my man did.
Yeah, because if you think about it, based on comics and based on what the shit looked like in the video game, he looked just like Bison. Looked just like Bison.
Yeah.
Like they created the character right off of him.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I say, you know, certain people, it's certain roles in video game movies or movies itself that I believe that once a person passes on, that it should be killed off. You know what I mean? Because no certain individuals can't catch the essence like that person did the first time.
There's a show called Spartacus. They used to come on Stars.
Okay.
Season 1, the guy who played Spartacus, he embodied that fucking role, bro. I believe everything he did on that shit. They wound up doing a prequel season because he had cancer. They didn't know if he was gonna survive it. Now he wound up passing. They recasted his role. I feel like they should have just stopped that shit.
I'm gonna tell you another movie, actual movie about somebody historical that is very near and dear to my heart, and I wanted them to make a remake, and it was actually in production, but they stopped it recently.
What?
Shaka Zulu.
Well, they was doing another Shaka Zulu?
Yeah, they was doing another Shaka Zulu.
So did you watch that shit back in the day as a kid? I feel like everybody watched it as a kid, bro.
I got the collection at the house.
What? Bro, I remember we sit with my grandparents, bro. I was like probably 6 or 7, and we was watching that shit, bro.
Dog, like, let me show you something right quick.
But you got Zulu Tribe tat or something, nigga?
Oh, shit. Tiny shit right here. So I went down to South Carolina State back in 2011 to march on the drum line. What my nickname was.
Yeah, Shaka Zulu, y'all.
That was my nickname.
Damn.
On the drum line, you know. So
that motherfucker wasn't no joke, bro.
Because if you think about it, man, over the course of history, you have had powerful black kings.
Mm-hmm.
But who's always named number 1?
Shaka
Zulu. Dude, you talking about a black man with absolute power.
He was like the real life T'Challa.
Exactly. Like, for real. If I ain't mistaken, ain't that was his dad's name? T'Challa's daddy?
T'Chaka. Yeah, it was T'Chaka, but it was kind of probably derived from that.
That's actually what Shaka Zulu's name is, T'Chaka. It's a T in front of the S.
Okay. Yeah, that was his dad's name, yeah.
T'Chaka's in the Tacoma.
Damn.
That's his dad's name. That's his real name. When you got a black man like that with absolute power, we talk about a black man who technically went up against the fucking British.
Yeah.
But hold up. He welcomed the British. It wasn't until at his assassination that the British and the Zulus warred. After he was killed. Okay. But to say that you had that much power in a region of Africa to just the sound of your name struck fear in people.
Well, Shaka Zulu, bro, it's no joke. I'm talking about. That's where I feel like a lot, and I'm guilty of this too. I have to expose my kids more of that type of shit.
Right.
Like I was exposed to that stuff young, bro. Like now I'm kind of letting the internet influence my kids on a lot of shit, and it's my fault. But a lot of like my oldest two, a lot of their content, they got all their content from me. That's why I have like a lot of physical media and different shit. I don't want y'all watching that. I want y'all watching this. You know what I'm saying? But
see, the thing about it, also when you say that, man, they don't make movies and shit like that no more, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say I have like physical media. I have to show them the shit from back then because we don't have shit like that no more. You're right.
You know, they don't make. Come on.
And when they do, they water it down.
Exactly. Now, the movie Shaka Zulu itself is kind of a watered down version of who he was or whatnot, because it's based on a biography that somebody's a white guy actually made an biography of Shaka Zulu or whatnot. So the movie is based on the autobiography.
The biography.
Biography or whatnot.
Yeah.
And of course, when you do things like that, it's gonna be dramatized to a degree.
Especially when they put it in the theatric form, like the cinema shit. Yeah, right. It's not gonna be.
I got the Shaka Zulu that used to come on the History Channel. The 6-part movie.
Yeah, that's the one I had to see, and that shit was. Well, I just remember that shit was long as hell, bro. But I watched it. I was like 6 or 7 years old.
It was meaningful because it was who we were.
Yeah.
It was where we come from.
Man. Even like that shit was intense, like the bursts and shit. You know what I'm saying?
The bursts, the fight scenes and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you a movie that a lot of
wasn't he born in battle or some shit?
No. So in Shaka Zulu's case, Shaka Zulu was an illegitimate child. Okay. So his dad got his mother pregnant out of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
and that was frowned upon back in that time frame. Even though his dad was a king, but at this point in time, his dad was a prince.
Mm-hmm.
So they forced his dad, to take his mom in or whatnot. And based on the movie, it was two of them pregnant at the same time. Shaka Zulu's mother and another actual queen.
Mm-hmm.
The rules of Africa at that point in time, whoever had the first son was the principal wife.
Okay.
The one who was married, her son died. Shaka Zulu lived. But because she was not technically a wife and more of a, for lack of a better term, a concubine, they forced him to take her in. And during that upbringing, that's when they mistreated Shaka Zulu and his mom. And they outcasted them from the tribe, which is how Shaka Zulu ended up in another tribe. That other tribe raised him up.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time, he was also mistreated by a lot of people in various other tribes from tribe to tribe that they went to, until they found home refuge in one particular tribe. And when he actually ended up going into the military in one of the tribes, and he became a general.
Okay.
So it was well known that Shaka Zulu wasn't the general that sent you out there to die. Shaka Zulu was out there fighting with you.
Yeah, he was on the lines with him.
He was on the lines with him and whatnot. So he's actually the creator of a particular war tactic where it's called the horns of a bull. So it's like 3 regiments, all of them together. One of them, back in those days when they used to do war and stuff like that, they were just throwing spears at each other and stuff like that. Shaka Zulu created that bloodthirsty shit. So what it would do is, you got a line of soldiers that would run up and they would form a line. And then you got 2 other lines of soldiers that's on each side, and they would surround the enemy.
I get the horn shit. Yeah,
surround the enemy or whatnot. And instead of them throwing spears at them, they had a particular spear that gut you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how he became a general or whatnot. He climbed through the ranks and he created that style of military.
Okay.
And believe it or not, they say a lot of his tactics, a lot of his military tactics is still used to this day.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. I believe that.
All in all, what actually happened was Shaka Zulu's dad died.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the movie, he chose Shaka Zulu to be the heir to the throne. But
his successor.
His successor, but his advisor had a grudge against Shaka Zulu.
Mm.
So he chose the other son instead. And when Shaka Zulu showed up, they was crowning the other son. But he showed up with everybody like, okay, well, shit, I'm really the king or whatnot. So his brother, who was already in fear of him, basically bowed down to him, man, you my king and whatnot. Shaka Zulu, man, shit, if you gonna bow down to me like this, then you ain't worth of being no king. I'm gonna take you on out of here. That's what he did. Spirit gutted him in front of everybody and sat on the throne.
Damn. Yeah, he was intense, bro. He was intense.
But that shit's so crazy because back in that time frame, they didn't give a damn who you was. So if you are on the throne and I want that throne and you my brother, I'm gonna take your head off.
Killmonger.
Okay. Why we can't rule together? I mean, you gotta be one king and whatnot, but at the same time, I think he did that because of the fact that he really had no upbringing with that particular brother.
So he felt like he had no kinship or loyalty to him.
No kinship or loyalty to him. But if you watch the movie, that up until that point, he was on a bloodthirsty trail because he was going back knocking off the tribes of everybody that mistreated him.
Damn, it was like a vendetta, goddamn.
He had a personal vendetta. It's a part on the movie that and you probably seen this, and you know they probably edited it out on the History Channel.
Mm-hmm.
When he was a kid and whatnot, when him and his mom seek refuge in the tribe that actually took them in or whatnot, 2 little boys just bullied him. And one day he actually stood up to him and fought him. He fought one in particular. And at the end, he came back. That one, they ended up burning up their house. After Shaka Zulu jumped on him or whatnot, they caught Shaka Zulu in the watering pond and beat him with a rock.
Damn.
Then they outcasted him and his family and his grandmother from the tribe or whatnot. So they had to walk across a desert or wherever they was at to get to another tribe. His grandmother starved to death.
Oh, I'm coming back for your ass, but just on the script for that, nigga.
Alright, his grandmother starved to death. His grandmother was the only person who knew how to calm him down. Years later, when he was on that bloodthirsty trail, he went up against that tribe. He killed everybody except for them two. Had his soldiers bring them two in front of him, in front of their daddy, and he told him, man, you remember Florida? That was his grandmother's name. You know how she died? Starvation and exhaustion. That's a fucked up way to die for an old woman. We wouldn't have been in this predicament if y'all ain't burned up our house. So what the fuck would you do if that was your grandma? You know what we had them do?
Oh.
Back in the day, they used to impale them. Giant sticks with sharp ends, or tree trunks with sharp ends and whatnot. Shove them right up their asshole and stuff them up in the air, let them slide down in front of their dad.
Damn.
That's not a joke. Go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I ain't watched that shit in years either. Yeah, it most definitely. It was worth the watch. Period, bro. That shit was. That's a powerful. Even though, just like you said, they edited a lot of stuff out and they showed a lot of shit. It still was detailed and graphic, and it was good as hell.
Very good, dog. Like detailed to the teeth. Now I'm gonna tell you a show that I think a lot of people say nowadays they can't watch it because it was too brutal. But in comparison to what you see nowadays, that shit ain't nothing.
What?
Roots.
I knew this gonna say this. I went for that new series of Roots. Okay, so did you see the new version of Roots with T.I.?
T.I. Is it a new version?
Yeah, they remade Roots. The History Channel remade Roots.
I seen the first episode of it, but I'm gonna tell you what turned me off.
What?
When they captured Shaka Zulu at the beginning, when they captured him.
Kunta.
I tell Shaka Zulu. When they captured Kunta Kinte, and the dude made it seem like the black dude said, pretty much like, "Oh, you did this to us, so we gonna do this to you."
Like that was their reasoning.
Yeah, like they had a vendetta for that reasoning. Dude, that was nowhere near the original storyline. My thing is, certain things shouldn't be touched.
Yeah.
Now, do I think they could have remade Roots and should have remade it? Yeah. But certain things need to be stuck to the original storyline. Adding this subtracting stuff, like, dude, you're not realizing that even though it is alleged that Alex Haley plagiarized certain stories.
Let me check something. Okay, I'll just make sure, y'all.
Even though
we still got time. We got 11 minutes.
Even though it's alleged that he plagiarized facts from a certain book, I believe it was.
But I thought it was supposed to be based off his family life.
Certain, allegedly, parts of Roots was plagiarized from Uncle Tom's Cabin. Like,
and you want to know something? Like, they always use the Y'all, we watching Elimination Chamber, and who just was tapped out?
Becky Lynch just tapped out to AJ, so she's now the Intercontinental Champion.
She lost the belt. Yeah, this is the championship. Damn, y'all. Got a new champion, AJ Lee.
Hey, I ain't lied. That damn submission she moved, but that shit was crucial, bro.
Yeah, I don't think I want to feel that, bro. I said it's twisted like a damn pretzel. We got the blood back. I'm about busted.
So what else? What were we saying?
Uncle Tom's Cabin was
useless. Yeah, it was saying that he allegedly plagiarized certain parts of Uncle Tom's Cabin.
And I was saying that I didn't know that they used the term Uncle Tom as a bad thing. Uncle Tom wasn't even the person. The people that tried to portray him as, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They really did shit to him because he didn't want to harm his fellow man and shit like that.
Okay, so, and that's why people always say, "Oh, use an Uncle Tom." Don't do your. The thing that I hate about black people, yeah, I ain't say this, but about us.
Say it, man.
The thing I hate about us is we would use a term incorrectly, and when somebody try to correct you, you would double down on the ignorance of it. Okay, Uncle Tom.
Say that again.
I hate when black people, and I hate when black people use terms incorrectly, and when you try to correct them or what the original meaning, what that term really is, they would double down on it being incorrect. Cause Uncle Tom was the hero.
Yeah.
He
My
did
dad
not want to do
explained
certain things to people. He didn't want to do that. Y'all call them motherfuckers other terms, but you really need to be calling them sambos. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's like they said, you want to hide something from a black person, where to put it at?
In a fucking book.
In a goddamn book. In the book.
Because niggas don't read.
But we'll scroll all day.
Because niggas don't read.
Don't read, bro. And man, that's like I'm getting back up on my shit slowly but surely. Like, I may read a chapter or a passage a day or whatever, but reading is fundamental like a motherfucker, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you can open your world up to a whole nother everything just by reading.
Definitely, man. Because the thing about it is, if you don't know, you don't know. But if you want to learn, you gotta read.
And these days, ignorance is not bliss. Your ass be ignorant about something if you want to, goddamn. They're passing laws every day just for our asses, bro. To keep you in the fucking bind about some shit.
Yeah, very much so, man. So people gotta understand. You gotta open your mind. One thing about us, we so close-minded. A person, like I said, you could be using a term incorrectly, and you can try to correct the person on what that term means, and the person would double down on it. You know what motherfuckers say? I said what I said. And that's usually been said by a motherfucker who done said some dumb ass shit and don't want to be corrected.
I know.
That shit is so fucking dumb to me, dog. Open your mind. Stop being ignorant. Because there's a lot of willful, ignorant motherfuckers around here.
Yeah.
A lot of willfully ignorant motherfuckers.
But some people just, yeah, you're right. Just like you said, like, they'd rather just go and be ignorant instead of just trying to. And I'm not saying they just. I don't want to say this the wrong way because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm talking about them and all that because I'm looking at the camera and shit. But if you know better, do better.
Man, look at me. Hit dogs holler every day.
Yeah.
Hit dogs holler every day, dog.
If you know better, do better, man.
Yeah, you gotta do better, man. But see, people, the thing about it is, it's easy to be ignorant than it is to take criticism and learn.
People don't like to take criticism, bro. That's the thing about me. Like, even with the workplace shit. If I did it, I have to eat that shit. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know so I won't do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just have me out here looking crazy or dumb or whatever and some shit. A lot of people don't like criticism. From work to regular home life to social circles, all that shit, bro. Like, if this really supposed to be your buddy and you can't correct you when you're wrong, like, what the fuck?
But see, also when you say a lot of people don't like criticism, a lot of people rather for you. A lot of people will rather not criticize you to keep you in a dumb place.
That's okay. Niggas, this fucking Jenny Jones, Mark Povich, this Oprah